Going to ask you all, please stand for the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good evening. Welcome to tonight's town board meeting. It is November 28th, 2023. The first thing on our agenda is a presentation by Toll Brothers to amend section 218-109 to rezone the Legion property 582590 Columbus, aka section 112.16, block 1, lot 1, from OB1 zone to R3A zone, as well as text amendments to schedule of regulations. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Supervisor, members of the board, Brad Schwartz and Zarin Steinmetz, joined by Kevin Moses from Toll Brothers. Hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. So we're here tonight simply to request the scheduling of a public hearing on Toll Brothers' proposed rezoning petition on the proposed redevelopment of the Legion site as 55 and over age-restricted townhomes. As I think you all know, the planning board completed the secret process by issuing a negative declaration a few weeks ago. The planning board also issued a positive recommendation to your board on the proposed rezoning. So the next step is to come back before your board and conduct the public hearing for the rezoning. During the public hearing, we will certainly make a more full detailed presentation, but tonight we're simply here for the procedural step of scheduling the public hearing.
Very good. Is there anything that you wanted to present, or you want to save that for the public hearing?
I think we'll save it for the public hearing.
Okay. All right. We could jump down to the supervisor's report, and I could ask the board, as far as the resolution 435-23, it's called for a public hearing to amend section 218-109 to rezone the Legion property, as I just stated, as well as text amendments to schedule of regulations. Town board, you're all in favor of moving forward with this?
Yes.
We can plan this for our next public meeting,
Yes, that is December 12th.
December 12th. We'll schedule this public hearing for December 12th. Does that work out for you?
Perfect.
I need a
resolution.
Yeah,
I
you
need a
do.
motion.
Yeah,
We have
motion
one.
to schedule a public hearing to amend section 218-109 to rezone the Legionnaire property.
Motion by Tom,
Second.
second by Lori. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. That was a tough one, huh?
Thank you very much. And we will that night use the screener for the benefit of the public, make a full presentation.
Good.
So,
Thank
Very
you.
good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Have a good evening. Thank you.
We're going to move on to our public hearing for the preliminary budget for 2024. Our controller, Brian Keneally, I think, wants to give us a brief rundown of the town budget. Thanks, Brian.
Mr. Supervisor, why do all the department heads sit so far away from us?
Probably afraid we're going to ask him a question.
They're smart, that's why.
Just so the public knows, all of our department heads are here tonight, just in case the public had any questions.
Okay, yeah, I'm part of that vertically challenged, but you could just take this. Good evening, Honorable Town Supervisor and Honorable Town Board. Thanks for having me here to discuss the 2024 preliminary budget. As introduced, my name is Brian Keneally. I'm the controller for the town. This is my 6th budget year with the town. So for the town, the controller's also designated as the budget director. So this gives me the opportunity to work closely with the supervisor, all the elected officials here, all the department heads here tonight, as well as, other staff in the building. So the department heads have showed up to answer any questions that the public may have, although there's not many people here. So feel free to ask any questions. Everyone's here, as well as me. Just a little bit where we're at. So we're currently in the second stage of the budget. We call this the preliminary stage in the budget. So this is really the opportunity where, like, the budget becomes public. We're looking for public feedback. We want to get out the budget message to the public. That's what I'm doing here tonight. So, we encourage people to ask questions. If you want a copy of the budget, it's posted online. You can obtain it also from the town clerk's office, or if you contact me, I'll also give you a copy as well, if you're looking for it. We hope to adopt the budget as final in either the first or second meeting in December. Historically here, we don't have a lot of changes usually from when we're in like the tentative stage to the final stage, but we're open to suggestions. Tonight, as the supervisor mentioned, I'm just going to do a brief overview of the budget. I know in the past I went pretty long, so we'll probably only finish by about 11 o'clock tonight. So don't worry. No.
And he's our town comedian, too.
Probably here 10 minutes. Okay.
He's freelancing.
All right, so I just jotted down some key highlights of the '24 budget, and I also want to go over like the fiscal position of the town, just so the public knows where we are, and I think it also ties into the '24 budget. So the town is presenting a budget for '24 of $63.4 million in appropriations. So that's the total expenditures, just the town piece, not the fire district, which are separate, or like the county, which is on the bill also. This is compared to 2023 of $60.52 million. So for the tax levy, this is the area many are concerned with the budget. The 2024 proposed tax levy in the budget is $32.5 million. This is compared to the 2023 tax levy of $31.7 million. So this represents a 2.55% increase. I just want to point out we're still tax cap compliant. We're $160,000 below the tax cap. I try to reemphasize this every year, that you can slightly go above the 2% if you haven't in prior years, because you're allowed carry forward, and there's other exclusions we typically don't use though. In the town, we have a lot of separate districts, so it's not like a city where it's like one tax rate, depends on the district you live in. I put a schedule together just to get like a wide spectrum of like what the increases would look like for everybody in different areas. But majority of our residents are like in the Kensico Water District. For a 10,000 assessed valuation house, which our assessor informed me now that's converted to like about 900,000 fair market value house. So normal house in the community, or a little maybe above that. That's a $67 tax increase from '23. So I think pretty nominal with all the services and work being done in the town. That could vary a little bit though, depending on the districts you're in. So I wrote down a couple of facts too. I think it's not just important to look at like the current budget, but to look at what's been going on like the last 10 years. Because if you have a 0% budget this year, but you're breaking the cap every year, it's not really relevant. So I went back and I looked at every budget over the last 10 years. I know many people here, serve for a good portion of the time, or the entire time. I've been here for more than half that time. So in the last 10 years, we only broke the cap one time. This was in 2017, and this was for a 3.5% increase. So I think that's also relevant, because you'll see some communities, you'll have a 2.22, and then when they break the cap, it's like a 7% increase. So even the year we broke the cap, it was only 3.5%. Another thing that I thought was interesting was, some years we may be 2%, 0%, 1%. So I put what's the average over the last 10 years of all the increases, and we're right at the cap. So we're 2.07% has been our average increase over the past 10 years. So I think that's important, because like it illustrates that it's been modest tax increases for the recent history, right? So we're cognizant of the residents and the taxpayers in the community. I looked at the inflation, the CPI, over the same period for the past 10 years. And I used the Northeast inflation, which is less than like if you took like a New York regional inflation, but I was being very like fair, conservative in the comparison. The inflation was 2.25%. So taxes have went up less than the rate of inflation over the last 10 years. Just wanted to point that out. And just one more thing on that. So the highest year was the year that the town broke the cap at 3.5%. There's no other like higher year than that.
Wasn't that followed by our AAA credit rating?
Yeah, I actually checked. So 2 weeks ago, we got another correspondence from Moody's, and we're still at the AAA rating. And the supervisor's correct that, breaking the cap added more fund balance, which helped increase our credit rating, which actually saves because now we're getting lower interest rates when we bonded. So that's a good point on that too. I want to talk about just the fund balance. I think that's like a strong financial indicator for where the town is or any municipality. So the last audited financial year we had was 2022. We're still in 23, obviously, so we don't have final numbers. I have projections, but not final. So we ended the 22 year with $46.3 million in total fund balance. So of this, you really have to back out the restricted portion of fund balance, because that's not for like operational cost. That's predominantly here for like unexpended bond proceeds, right? So that's earmarked for certain projects. So when you back that out, the unrestricted portion we ended with in 22 was 19.6 million. And I ran the tape last year for my projection. I was pretty close. I was like 19 million plus for the year. So it ended up being pretty accurate. Of this 19.6 million we have available to us, we opted in the 23 budget to use $2.6 million of that fund balance to offset tax increases to the residents because we had such a healthy fund balance. We like to be around like the $12 to $20 million range for fund balance here. So 19.6 is kind of on the high end of that, so we end up using some of that. For the 24 budget, now we can use up to $17 million projected. And again, I don't know exactly how it went in 23, but I do believe we're going to be pretty close to what the budget was. So I think that's an accurate number. We're planning to utilize 2.5. So at the end of 2024, we would probably have around between $14 and $15 million of fund balance unrestricted, which is still like in the mid-range of where we want to be. So, we're balancing, we're keeping strong reserves, and we're also not doing major increases of taxes, but we're also providing, a lot of service to the residents of the town. So I think all three good things there. All right, I want to talk about like the overall budget. I'm not going to go so specific in every line, but just some like general takeaways. So, usually the biggest piece of any budget, we all know in municipalities, is salaries and benefits, right? That's the most cost. So for us, it's definitely over 50% if you take the salaries and the benefits. We're not authorizing any new positions in 2024. So we did add 2 positions during the year. I'm just pointing that out because if you look at the 2 documents and you see new titles, I don't want that to contradict what I'm saying here. But through this budget passing, we're not authorizing new positions tonight. The other big thing of any municipality is usually like capital cost and the related debt service if you bond it. Just our debt service about 10% plus of the budget. So between like salaries and benefits and capital and related debt service, close to like 3/4 of the budget, right? That's the majority. I just want to point out because of the current interest rate environment that we're still in, we decided not to authorize any new bonding again in '24. We also did this in '23. In the past, like when I first started around 2018, they were giving the money away, and we did the projects we wanted to get done. We accomplished those, and we also, refinanced debt where we could. We took high-rate loans that were short-term, put them long-term at very low rates. So we really did the right thing at that time. Now we're not like forced to act because we did the right thing, right? We planned in advance. So we do have some bonds dropping off in 26 and 27. We do have projects out there that we have planned that we want to do. We could reevaluate the market then and see where rates are. And, when those drop off, if it's advantageous to bond for those projects, you're not going to see a very like up and down because we have debt falling off. So we like, again, plan things the smart way and keep things kind of stable. So we're not doing bonds, but I just point out a few capital things we're doing in the budget. Replacing 3 police cars. So police cars, they do high mileage because of all the patrolling, so it's a responsible thing to do to replace those on a regular basis. So we budget for that. We're also budgeting for a senior transport bus or vehicle. I'm not sure which one it's going to be. And there's various repairs to the recreational facilities that we have planned. If anybody wanted like a more detailed rundown, Doug or John could speak on that if that's a request. I just want to hop back into the salaries and the benefits. So we got, I feel like every time I present the budget, the day before I get bad news about the health insurance rates. So it's like every year. So I just found out that on top of like, I think it was like a 15% and 15% or close to it the last 2 years, we're getting another, for a single plan, it's a 10.5% increase. And for a family plan, it's 9%. And for the retirees, the Medicare rates, it's between 15 and 20% increase. So it's really just absurd about how much health insurance has been going up. To put in perspective, a family plan in 2024 is going to cost, the town and the employee who share on the cost, $40,405. $40,000, more than $40,000 for a family plan. So it's very expensive. And, we offered in the past, we offered private plans, right? Because sometimes they were lower. They've actually, the ones we had became more expensive than NYSHIP for the same or equal benefit, so nobody signed up for them. But it's a continued struggle with the rise of the NYSHIP rates. Pension rates, which haven't really seen those type of increases over the years, they're going up. So the state's on a different fiscal year. They start April 1st through March 31st. So we have like 3 months for the other fiscal year, 9 months for like the second fiscal year that ends in March of 25 for the state. Those rates, the ones that end in the 25, which is the majority of the 9 months in 24, those are going up, at the various tiers between 15 and 21% there. So another big hit with benefits. I just want to point out that, benefits in government is very costly, right? And it's a constant challenge. Workers' comp, I want to give some good news. We got a minor increase. So I just want to throw that out there. I just wanted to mention a few things about the departments. Since they're not coming up to speak tonight, I'll just be brief about it, but just some highlights. So for the water department, I spoke with our superintendent, Dave Smith. We looked at the American Rescue Plan money. They refer to the acronym as like ARP. People know it by. We continue to work on that. I wanted to point out that this town, the board, has decided not to do things like hazard pay. We did 100% of that money investing in town infrastructure, in water infrastructure for the town. So all those projects are progressing. They'll be committed by 2024, and we have to spend it by 26. So that's ramping up. I also asked David about water rates. Again, we're not increasing water rates in 24 as of now per the budget, unless something changes. But we didn't budget for it, so we haven't had a water rate increase since, I think, 2018 or 17, if I'm correct. 17, yes, thank you. The water department has also, they've done 17 water main repairs. They installed 1,600 feet of new water mains on the Commerce Hilltop area, and they've installed 2,300 water meter cellular endpoints. So they're accomplishing a lot of work. I wanted to just mention that. For recreation, I talked to our superintendent, Doug. He's going to be presenting with the rec commission where they did with like the fees for camp and pool and various other new service offerings that they did. So it looks like we did very well compared to last year in the revenues. I also wanted to point out that with the American Legion building that's managed by the Recreation Department, that many may be aware that we did a big remodel this past year, and there was a big unveiling. What some people may not realize is the supervisor, myself, and David, we really fought hard while that was going on to also get approved for like a mitigation project with federal money for the Nannyhagen stream. And it was a little challenging because, there has to be a justification of the property and value of the land being protected. There's a formula to do a level of work that's very expensive. We ended up getting that approved, and that's about $350,000. We just got obligated for that, so that work can start in spring of next year. So that was great. I was happy about that. Just with the police, I want to mention they're continuing their response management system. They refer to as RMS. So they acted early and swiftly, and they were able to partner with the county in getting a $2 million value, software value that we're not paying for. Our piece is the AutoCAD cost, which is about $400,000. We have this with some other communication projects we're also going. We also recently, with Mike Lawler, he assisted us in applying for a legislative grant. So we're hoping that we do well on that, and that could also help with our portion of the cost of this project and some of the other communication projects. So I just wanted to put that out there. The police were also successful in securing a body cam grant for $110,000, and I talked to the chief, and they're planning on rolling that out in 2024. Just want to mention that. And just two more, just bear with me. So for building, I talked to Sal and his department. Sal's the building inspector, but he also operates as like the facilities person for the town hall in other locations. So he's in the middle of the energy upgrade project that has been going on. This was a part of like a energy efficiency audit, where what happens is we get an audit done, and if the cost is justified, where the savings from the energy will pay for the debt service over like a long enough period of time to justify the work. So that project is well underway. We're doing the windows and various work. It'll continue in the 2024. He also is working with the town engineer and our fleets director. They're applying for another grant, which I'm not sure if everybody's aware of, and that's a Con Ed grant to expand charging stations and other green type stuff, and I think they're going to be successful on that. So if anybody wants to talk to him, he could also speak on that in more detail. Last thing is our highway superintendent. We spoke the other day, and I just want to commend the work he's doing. This past year, he's paved 30 roads, that's 6+ miles. He resurfaced 32 roads, that's, again, 6+ miles. He was able to complete $1.9 million in various drainage work throughout the town. He's taken an aggressive approach to deal with the flooding challenges we had, and I wanted to give them the recognition on that. And that's all. And I just wanted to say thank you to the board and the supervisor and all the department heads and the staff here for all the support, and we'll continue to do great work.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions in regards to the budget?
Anyone from the audience or anyone from up here?
Anywhere?
Oh. I didn't want to put anyone on the spot, but Brian did mention repairs to the recreation buildings. Can Doug speak to that a little bit, please?
Doug or John?
Doug or John or both?
Which building?
Which building? He didn't say which building, that's why I was asking.
Yeah, hi everyone. Hey, Carl.
Hi.
How's it going? Yeah, we had some work done in at the pool complex this year. I think we put new flooring in and some new material on the roof at the community center. So I think that's what Brian was referring to. We also did some work at the American Legion building, and we're looking to do some more over there. So I think that's what he's referring to.
We got the new HVAC system that's going in.
So the library unit was activated today, so we have heat back in the library this afternoon. The other units are up on the rooftop. They're doing some piping and some plumbing and ductwork. Hopefully those will be fired up by the end of the week. The Legion, we're looking to make the building a little more accessible, so with the new budget, we're going to try to make it a little more handicap accessible, easier for our residents to get in and out. Let's do some upgrades for that building.
In the front, John, or?
In the front, yeah, to make a little drop-off zone, maybe a handicap spot or two. There's not much room there, but we'll see what we can do. We'll work with Dave Smith and the engineers and see what we can design for that top area.
I like that idea, thank you for that.
We made we made the bathroom upstairs handicap accessible. We made the bathroom downstairs also handicap accessible,
Right.
which we never had before.
No, it's definitely a big bonus for the recreation department to have another building to hold programs in and some senior stuff.
Thank you.
That's great.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
You did a lot of work downstairs too,
American
Yeah.
Legion.
all the offices.
Yeah, well, I want to say thank you to everybody on the board because everybody shows up to our events. Everybody offers tremendous amount of support, and it's really nice. So, Lori, you're at every senior event we have.
But I'm not a senior.
No, but you're there, and you show support. So it's really nice to have that from everybody. And we offer stuff for people from 1 to 100 plus. So it's a great department, and we appreciate all the support.
Well, you two helped to make it a great department. We appreciate your work that you have done the past few years also.
Thank you.
Yeah, yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Same. Yes, good.
Brian, did you want to put anybody else on the spot? The board members have any questions?
Oh, lots of questions, but a lot of them have been answered. The only thing is, I am the liaison for the highway department, and I just wanted to ask, because when Brian mentioned in capital projects about police cars, we didn't speak anything about any equipment for the highway department, but I do know that there was a wish list, so I'm not sure if Rich Benquit wants to speak in regard to that wish list. I'm not sure what we can afford in '24.
We did order 2 new, the big trucks. They'll probably be the end of our old big trucks. They're on order.
Oh, you mean the big dump trucks?
Yeah, we won't see those until this time next year probably.
And that was part of our 5-year plan. Yeah.
So, okay. I must have missed
We
that.
bought a lot of equipment in the highway department over the past 5-6 years. We're in pretty good shape there.
Well, if Mother Nature's good to us and we don't have any more flooding, I think it would be better, but not much you can do about that.
Okay, if there are no further questions, we're going to keep the budget hearing open. They will continue at the next public meeting. Department heads are welcome to join us at that meeting if you like. But for now, we're going to move on to the supervisor report.
I just want to thank all of our department heads for your hard work on the budget and your dedication to the town every year. You guys work really, really hard, and our residents need to know that, so thank you.
Yep, I second that. Appreciate
you
it,
all.
much appreciated.
Looking forward to '24. Thank you all.
Alrighty, moving on, we have purchase order 830-23-22, controller hardware programming and installation for water treatment operations for the Kensico Water District.
Can we let them go?
Yep.
This is an emergency repair. Right now, I believe David, our superintendent of water and sewer, said that we have to have somebody maintaining it manually right now. So we're looking forward to getting this repaired as soon as possible.
Is this for the caustic soda?
Did you find it?
This is for the
Yeah.
caustic-
No, purchase orders.
Control purchase order 830-2322.
I don't know.
Yes.
We got the budget in between there, so.
So page 74, it looks like it's the last of the budget. This is the Legion. Look at that. Oh, you did this already.
Go back and forth. Oh,
Right.
that's right. Oh, okay, I see. That's the whole budget. Okay. I know.
This is it. Company is Uptime Automation,
Uptime
Total
automation.
cost for all
There
the
we go.
work?
Yep.
$23,900. I think it's amazing how David maintains a system so big and some of it aging, and we're allowed to hold the water rates, and that, commend you for that, David.
So do we need a motion for this, Mr.
Yes.
Supervisor? Okay. So moved.
Resolution 43623,
Yes.
motion by Lori,
I'll second it, please.
second by Tom, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is authorization to obtain bids for delivery of caustic soda for 2 water treatment plants. Kensico and Botanical Water District. Caustic soda is utilized to increase the pH of our drinking water while decreasing the solubility of metals such as lead and copper. Documents will be available 12/1/23. Bid opening will be 12/13/23 at 11 a.m. in the town clerk's office, I would believe. So resolution 43723 will authorize the going out for bid.
Move for approval, please.
Motion by Danielle,
Second?
second by Jerry. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item. Authorization to close outstanding liens and open taxes on Buildigut, 84 Beekman Avenue in Sleepy Hollow. This is something that I know our receiver's office has been working very hard on. It's been a real long fight to try to get anything out of this. It went into foreclosure. Part of it, the lien was sold by Sleepy Hollow. To make a long story short, we're closing it out. 84 Beekman, Buildigut. Total amount is $140,000, $140,994.50 is paid for all taxes, arrears, and liens. This does not cover everything that they owe, but this was a settlement in the foreclosure process, unfortunately. This resolution 43823 will close it out.
Move for approval, please.
Motion by Lori,
Second?
second by Danielle. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is a resolution pursuant to town law, section 20, designation, poll hours and location for special town election to determine if the town will create a Pleasant Ridge Water District Extension Number 1 in accordance with town law, section 209E, and authorizing the town to enter into a IMA with the West County for the use of electronic voting machines. If you may have been following, we have to, because there was a petition against the extension of Pleasant Ridge Water District, it has to go to a referendum. So there will be an election, and do we have a date on that or anything?
Yeah, I can give you the information, Mr. Supervisor.
Chris?
So as you mentioned, on August 8th, 2023, the board adopted a resolution to create the Pleasant Ridge Water District Extension Number 1. After that resolution was adopted, there was a 30-day period by which property owners within that proposed district could submit a petition challenging that determination by the board. Within the statutory period of time, more than 5% of the voters of that district, of that area, of the property owners of that area did submit a petition. So now the board is required to set a special election, which will be held on December 19th. It's going to be held so everybody knows. And again, this is just the only people that can vote in this special election are the property owners who own property. So not necessarily people that live in the home, but the property owners that were listed on the 2023 assessment roll for properties that are on Armand Place, Lisa Lane, Ronald Court, Scorlick Lane, and Thomas Place, as well as properties located on the north side of Grasslands Road between numbers 178 and 420, and on the east side of Bradhurst Avenue, numbers 12 through 140. So the property owners of those properties will be able to vote at the Valhalla Firehouse at 1 Entrance Way, Valhalla, on December 19th between 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. That day on a referendum as to whether the creation of that district will be enacted. It's important to note, I know for the people out there, when the board met and had their public hearing on this, there was some concern by people in the proposed district that there was a fee for them to install a new water meter. Through Dave Smith's efforts, there has been kind of a reallocation of some grant funding that the town had, so that $400 will not be charged. That will be covered by that grant funding. So really the only big expense to any homeowner is there's a limited number of homeowners in this proposed district that are currently on wells. For those people who aren't currently connected to a water main, they will have to pay the cost of connecting their home to that water main. That cost is, a variable cost, but I just want to make it clear that to people watching at home that that's the big kind of difference. So the $400 that was going to be paid by the homeowners to put the new meters has been covered by the grant. So there's no longer an issue, which was voiced at the public hearing. And that's part of the resolution. And then, as you said, Mr. Supervisor, we're also, by this resolution, adopting an intermunicipal agreement with Westchester County, whereby we will be borrowing their voting machines for this election. So they're going to give us the voting machines that we can use and program them for us. but we do have to hire approved movers. I've reached out to all 4 of the approved moving companies from the county for quotes. Once I have them, I will bring them to you, and we should be pretty much all set.
Chris, do each of the homeowners or property owners get notified to vote?
So what we're gonna do, Mr. Supervisor, is we're required to publish it in the newspaper. We're required to post it on the board here. We're gonna post it online, on the town website. And then if the village, if the town likes, we can send out a letter, to the 68 properties, just letting them know and further advising them. And we can prepare something to make sure that they're aware. I will say that I did speak with council a couple times this morning for Brightview, and my understanding is that somebody who currently owns the proposed Brightview property is going to be, I think, going door to door, letting people know about this as well. So that was also, you know, another avenue.
It might be worthwhile
Yeah.
to send every property owner a notice, because this way we don't have to hear it afterwards, I didn't know anything about it. Even though we go to extremes of the website and everything else, I think we have to send a notice.
Yeah, and another thing that's also important is for those who really wish to further review this, you know, the town engineer has previously provided, prior to that August 8th meeting that the board had, the plans and the estimates and the drawings and things of that nature, which are at the town clerk's office if people wish to review them. So that's also something that people should be aware of. But generally, that's everything you need to know. So again, just for the people at home, I'll go through the list of properties. It's the property owners can vote for properties on Armand Place, Lisa Lane, Ronald Court, Scorlick Lane, Thomas Place, on the north side of Glasslands Road, which is numbers 178 through 420 Grasslands Road, and on the east side of Bradhurst Avenue, street numbers 12 through 140 Bradhurst Avenue. So the owners of those properties can come and vote on December 19th, 2023, between the hours of 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. at the Valhalla Firehouse at 1 Entrance Way in Valhalla, New York. Assuming the board approves this resolution.
Resolution 43923 will authorize us to move forward with this election. As council has just explained, December 19th. Any other questions on this?
No.
None here.
No questions, but I do agree with you, Mr. Supervisor, that we should send a letter to each homeowner, property owner.
Yeah. Thank you.
Move for approval, please.
Motion by Lori,
Second?
second by Jerry. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is authorization to appoint Louis Alagna Jr. to the title of laborer in the Water and Sewer Department, effective, it's December 12th, 2023. With an annual salary as per CSEA contract, $57,300. Louis comes highly recommended as experienced in construction. He's being hired to assist the department with the numerous water main projects and other related work. The department has budgeted for this position. Resolution 440-23 will approve the appointment of Louis Alagna Jr.
Move for approval, please?
Motion by Jerry,
Second.
second by Danielle. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Let's see. Receiver taxes report. We have on file. Let's see, we got interest rate here somewhere. Yeah.
I have all the information.
Yeah.
No. I can't find an interest rate report.
At this time, we have business to move forward. Anybody wish to address the board on any issue relating to town? Be happy to do so at this time.
Did you want to speak? You could just sign in and then state your name and address when you get up. Thank you. Hi, good evening. Hi, my name is Yael. I live in Hawthorne. I had a question about. What is your name? Yael. Yael. I had a question about the budget. I know that there was a portion on the budget that said that there's money that's going to be allocated for legal issues, and with the possibility of having to finance a special counsel or whatever it may be to combat what's going on with the allegation against the town, is that going to be allocated towards that? And if there's a need for additional funds, where would that be coming from?
Well, we don't know where we're at with that yet. We did not allocate additional funds anticipating this. I don't know where it's going, or what's going to happen. Any additional legal funding we may need may have to come out of fund balance.
Do we-
Over and above what we budgeted for legal.
Okay. So would we be able to, sorry, can I ask a question back? Okay, I've never been here. Would we, if there's additional funds that would need to come out, would we know where it would come out of? Or is there
Yeah,
like
it would come out of fund balance.
a fund balance? Is there a certain amount for that, for a year, or no?
Well, the controller explained what our fund balance is right now. Do you remember, Linda?
The last audited was
14
19.6
15
million,
million.
and that
Right
was
now?
2022.
Right now, it's about 14.
No.
Our last,
Audit.
Audit.
of the audit, we're 19.7 million. I'm projecting we're doing about $17 million on balance now.
Right.
I don't know all the legalities for bonding or legal cases. That's something we can do as well. Get insurance over time. So the option is to get one every year, which or rely upon balance that we have.
We also have insurance policies that also assist with legal challenges.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Take the lead. Take it, take the lead.
Yeah, I don't want to put our department heads through this painful town board meeting. You're welcome to go home if you like. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, thank you.
We do always like seeing you, though. But, anybody else have business moving forward they'd like to address with the town? I know we have a young Boy Scout here working on a merit badge.
Yes.
What is it? What merit badge is it?
Citizenship and community.
Did you have any questions for us? No. You think we're doing a great job, right?
You came in at an interesting night because of the budget hearing.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
What's your current rank? You're going for Eagle.
How many more you gotta go?
Nice.
6 badges and then your Eagle?
Yeah.
And then you,
Still
Did you
20.
Good
pick
for
a
you.
project? Did you pick a Eagle project?
Yeah, I'm halfway through mine right now.
Still 21 badges, that's correct?
Mr. Schulman is an Eagle.
Yeah, amazing.
50 years ago.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll move on to our reports. Our town clerk, Emily, I know you got a big report.
Get ready. Hold on, I have to open it. Can't remember the one thing on it. Sorry.
This is it.
I know, I couldn't remember if it was final or preliminary.
Final.
Thank you. Town clerk's report, town board meeting, November 28th, 2023, received and filed the Pecanico Hills Fire District 2024 final budget. And that's it. Thank you.
That's it?
No, come on.
That's it.
Wow.
Very good.
Okay, we're going to move on to our council reports. Councilman Soliano.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My report is from Controller's Office. The following claims are submitted for town board approval. From the Justice Court, $5,717. From assessment, $250. From the category of attorney, $3,718. From municipal association dues, $1,800. From recreation center, $10,000. From adult programs, $1,680. From the category of youth programs, $4,832. From general repairs, $21,559.90. From the category of highway machinery, $3,101. From capital building improvement, $17,300. From the special drainage district, $307,550. From the Mount Pleasant Consolidated Sewer District, $12,450. And from the Kensico Water District, $3,700.96. The grand total is $393,658.86. It's signed Brian Keneally, our controller. I respectfully ask the board for a motion of approval for the controller's memo, please.
Motion by Tom,
Second.
second by Jared. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. We have Resolution 442-23. That's authorization to change the civil service status of Francisco Tovar from provisional to permanent under the title of bookkeeper effective November 28, 2023. There is no change to Mr. Tavares' salary and benefits. He will remain in his probationary period until it expires on May 24th, 2024, as per Civil Service Law, Section 63. I move for approval, please.
Motion by Tom,
Second?
second by Danielle. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Great. I thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Councilwoman Zena.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, fellow board members and residents of Mount Pleasant. I have 2 items on my agenda. First item is from our Police Department and Traffic and Safety Division. This is purchase order 30-23-31, 2024 Ford 350 regular cab pickup with liftgate and equipment. The vendor is Hempstead Ford Lincoln. Total cost is $54,791. I move for approval, please.
Motion by Danielle,
Second.
second by Lori. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
My second purchase order is from our Traffic and Safety Department, purchase order 30-23-32. This is, the vendor is NMR Ninos Machinery Repair. Let me see here.
The paint truck repair.
Yeah, this is for our paint truck repair that does the lines on the streets. Total cost is $3,613.21. Move for approval, please.
Motion by Danielle,
Second?
Second by Jerry. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Councilman Schulman? You have nothing on your
It's a first.
agenda?
That's a
Anything-
first.
That is a
anything you wanna
first.
update on?
Wow.
Taking it easy on me.
Councilwoman Smalling?
Good evening. My report is from the Highway Department. The first item is Purchase Order 50-23-21, Virginia Lane Drainage Improvement Project. The vendor is Peter J. Landy. The amount as per estimate is $279,800. That is the total cost. This is a long-awaited project that we'd like to get going. Move for approval, please.
Motion by Lori,
Second?
second by Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. The next item is authorization to release bond for curb cut permit number 1491. The work was performed and has been completed, and the road restored to the highway superintendent's satisfaction. The name is James Pereira. The work was performed at 346 Warren Avenue, Hawthorne, New York. The bond amount is $360 to be returned. Move for approval, please.
Motion by Lori,
Second.
second by Danielle. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The next item is authorization to release a bond for street opening permit number 6423. This again was performed at 346 Warren Avenue, and this bond was in the amount of $500. Move for approval, please, to return the bond.
Motion by Lori,
Second?
second by Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving on to our town attorney, Mr. Feldman.
We have a number of tax certiorari's that we presented to the board. I'll kind of go through them briefly. One was, these are all tax certiorari matters which we've settled with the different applicants, and we're recommending those settlements to you. We've worked with the assessor's office to resolve these cases. A number of these cases involve a number of years and a number of properties. The first one is Westchester Indoor Tenants involving a property at 5 Browns Road, and that's in the Pecanico Hills District. The estimated refund of that settlement is $5,000. Similarly, we have Hawthorne RE Ventures, which is for the same property at 5 Browns Road in the Pecanico Hills School District, and that's for $4,500. And just so you know, it's the same property, but there was a sale. So some of the earlier years were when Westchester Indoor Tennis owned it, and then the later years are when Hawthorne RE Ventures purchased the property from them. Then we have 656 Sherman Avenue, Sherman Holdings LLC in the Mount Pleasant School District. The estimated town refund on that would be $1,000. We have a property owned by Mario Bruni at 230 North Washington Street in Sleepy Hollow in the Union Free School District of the Terrytowns. The estimated refund on that case is $150 from the town. Then we have Illy Holdings LLC at 60-62 Wheeler Avenue in Pleasantville, in the Pleasantville Union Free School District, and the estimated refund on that is $250,000. And then breaking the trend, we have a settlement for the Midwestchester Realty property at 2-4 Skyline Drive in the Pecanico Hills School District, and the estimated refund on that is $50,000. So that's a bigger one. And we usually try to avoid those, but sometimes the numbers dictate that that's where it goes. That case involves a number of years over a good period of time.
Chris, I don't know if I heard you right on
Yeah.
Wheeler Avenue.
Yeah, that was Illy Holdings LLC, 60-62 Wheeler Avenue in
What
Pleasantville.
was total?
That one was $250.
$260.
$250.
$50.
250.
Okay.
Dollars.
I thought
Yeah.
it was-
Yes.
I thought it was 1,000.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
so- yeah, apologies. No, that one was $250.
Thank you.
But then the last one was $50,000.
Okay.
And all these refunds are the town's responsibility, not the school district.
Correct, so these are all I was just listing in the chart what school district they were in so that the board was aware. The numbers that we provided are just the numbers that would be paid by the town. So there are additional refunds which will be paid by the county and the school district. Generally, those numbers are much higher than we pay as to our portion of the refund.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yes, thank you.
explaining that.
Yep.
Okay. Schedule of meetings are next.
Well, sorry, Ms.
Oh,
Supervisor,
we
we
have to
should,
approve.
we should
Oh,
approve.
yes.
Yeah,
Resolution 448-23 will approve the tax surcharges that Chris just explained to us.
Move for approval, please.
Motion by Jerry,
Second.
second by Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
thank you.
Our scheduled meetings, our work session will be Tuesday, December 5th, 7 p.m. Business session, December 12th at 7 p.m. There be no further business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Tom,
Second.
second by Jerry. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
all.
very much.
Have a good night.
Yep.